I feel as if this part, there is a deep-seated part of the American culture that's tied to guns. If you've read the history of the Gunfighter Nation and some of the other really fascinating works of history, but I feel there's a way to channel that. Just as you mentioned the smoking analogy, the way smoking used to be tied in with sexual attractiveness and sexuality in this country. Somehow we managed to divert that to something else, probably also demeaning, but at least not injurious.
And drunk driving used to be considered funny. I mean, you go back and you watch like sitcoms from the 70s, people would joke about it. I mean, it was it was considered hysterical. You got in the car, you drove drunk.
Right.
Changing attitudes. First you change the culture, then you change the politics, right? Gramsci, I think that was. The norms and the expectations and all that needs to change. It needs to be that somebody who loves guns needs to do that in their own place, on their own time, and pass regulations to get there, which is a similar way that we are with cigarettes at this point. And it will take, you're right. I mean, those things aren't easy, but if we look at those fights, we've won those fights. We've moved forward. We are moving forward, as I said to you, and if you want, and you want to put it on the site, I'll send you that piece because there's much more than that. I mean, they tried to put guns and, get rid of concealed carry permits so you could just get a concealed carry with no background check whatsoever, nothing. We defeated virtually all of those. I think they won 2 of like 15. I mean, everything they pass is terrible, even one thing, but we're defeating them on almost everything, and we're also making forward progress. California next year is going to move past background checks on guns to background checks on bullets. It's going to be on the ballot. We'll definitively win that one too, and they're going to institute other measures. They've got a gun violence restraining order there, where obviously if you're somebody who we know should have a gun taken away, the police know, or your family knows. And California is important because they're a tenth of our population. So or more. What happens? I think they're 12% of our population. What happens there has an inordinate influence on the rest of the country. So people just need to know. I mean, it's hard to keep your head up when this stuff's happening. I know it because I'm buried in these things all the time. But I really want to do more. I feel it's my job to do more, and maybe I failed in this count to let people know that we are doing positive things. And again, the American history with guns, Australia had that history and passed amazing gun safety efforts after the Port Arthur massacre in '96. Canada was a frontier nation, and they've passed all sorts of, just to say that we've loved guns here and to act like no other frontier country did, is not to look at history accurately. We can do it. We've done it with other things, as you pointed out, and I think we will.